Welcome to the Teaching Bites podcast. Here are your hosts, Fred and Sharon Jaravada.
Sharon has a cold or allergies.
I got it after so many rounds. My turn.
I know, it's crazy. Today, I've been sneezing all day today, too, and I took some Benadryl. Oh, my God, I was knocked out. I mean, I was getting knocked out during school, and I had to go when I moved my car, because, as teachers here in San Francisco, they move our cars every 2 hours, at least in my neighborhood. I took a half-hour nap. Crazy, huh?
Nice.
And I'm parked in the hill, so it's a steep hill. It's about 30% grade, something like that, 30%, I don't know. But I'm parked, I guess, perpendicular to the slope.
Mm.
And it's hard because I'm laying down, but I'm sloping.
Well, you can't
to the
relax.
other side. It's hard, yeah. I was trying to balance out and everything was napping.
Yeah, and actually speaking of that, you just went to a conference.
Yeah, so I come back.
Yeah.
So last week, I arrived back on Thursday. Last Thursday, I arrived back Thursday night from Texas. I was in Austin, Texas for South by Southwest. EDU. All right. So what's South by Southwest? Let me break it down a little bit. Okay. So South by Southwest. Okay. Not the EDU part, but South by Southwest in Austin, Texas. I guess started in the 80s, 87, 88, something like that. But it's a film music festival. And I think in the 2000s, maybe 90s and 2000s, they introduced the interactive part. The interactive part is the technology. So they introduced technology, and I believe Airbnb and Twitter, they debuted their technologies there back in the early 2010s or something like that. But it's a pretty big festival. Unfortunately, the EDU part for the teachers and stuff, they were there 5 days before. It started Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And the festival, the South by Southwest, the regular one, started Thursday night. So when the teachers left, the kids started playing.
Dang it. You gotta have fun too, teachers.
But no. Mm-hmm. I gotta admit, it was fun. I admit, for EDU, it's great. This is 2017. It's great. I had a lot of fun. Austin is a beautiful town. It's a beautiful city. It's not a town. It's a city. It's the capital of Texas. Everyone's friendly. Everyone's great. The Southern hospitality, great.
It's true.
It is true. I mean, I've been to Atlanta a year before. Southern hospitality, it's great. We don't really get that much here in the Bay Area. But beautiful city. And the food, oh my God, the Texas barbecue, and I think they call it the Central Texas barbecue. I guess it's distinct from all the other barbecues around Texas and in the coast, and from the Carolinas and Kansas City. It's different. Atlanta had their version, I think, also, but Texas is definitely all beef. I mean, there's pork and there's all that too as well, but there's beef. So beef ribs, beef brisket. Definitely Texas style.
Yeah, you kept taking pictures and showing me, texting me pictures.
I put it on Instagram.
And I'm home with the sick kids, and I'm like, oh, I want some of that.
Yeah, if you're on Instagram, follow me. I'm at Escrimador, ESKRIMADOR, Escrimador. That's my private Instagram. But you could follow my adventures there. It's more casual. It's not as heavily into the teaching thing, although I do a lot of teaching pictures there too, but I do show off of my food and when I go to conferences and all that,
and our family and whatever else you're doing with your class.
Yeah, and it's also, we have Instagram teaching, but it's a little more geared to the formal stuff. But anyway, EDU, it was great. I guess when I looked it up, it's about when I eyeballed it, I think it was about 3,000, 4,000 teachers. So that went K-12 all over the country. We attended and learned about the newest stuff in education. There were a lot of great speakers. The keynote speaker, oh my God, just the opening keynote speaker alone by Dr. Christopher Emden of Teachers College up in Columbia. That little school up there in New York. Mm-hmm. He was the opening keynote, and he blew my mind big time. I've seen his name before. He leads that hip hop, the hashtag hip hop education. I've seen it before, but I never really joined it. Although I'm a hip hop fan, but he opened up the conference, EDU conference, big time, and it really blew my mind. How did that blow my mind? He made the connection, or he identified, and I'll put the link here also in the video of his conference, of his talk. But he identified the friends, the frenemies, and the enemies of education. The friends are the good people doing good things. The frenemies are the teachers, great heart, but they're doing things that are working against the urban and disadvantaged children, and the enemies, like out for profit. He has a book out called For White Folks Who Teach in the Hood, and for the rest of you all too. That's a great one. I bought it. I'm starting it, and it's very provocative. And he talks about in the talk that he has to use what the kids are engaged in, what the kids like, their culture. Like
pop culture or
it's just their culture, not just pop culture, but I guess the culture in the hood, especially in the hood, right? Now we've seen all these movies with the white teacher coming in and saving the class.
Yeah, like Dangerous Minds or...
Right. Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer, I love that movie too. And Hilary Swank.
Yeah.
Right? But it's a stereotype. Christopher Emden, he talked about how in the 1950s and 60s, they integrated schools physically. And it's a great thing, right? But also, he recognized that the curriculum that we've been teaching kids hasn't integrated at all.
True.
Right.
The textbooks.
Yeah, that's why he's saying a lot of people. That's one cause why our kids are so disinterested, and bored of the curriculum.
Yeah, because you don't see yourself in the book, so it's like, I'm not important.
And he connected this thing where A Tribe Called Quest's new album. We got it from here. Thank you for your service. So this is a Tribe Called Quest's new album, and he breaks down certain lyrics and certain songs from this album. But the main point of the title, this is the title of his talk, Professor Emden at South by Southwest EDU. We got it from here. Thank you for your service. And he lifted that from A Tribe Called Quest.
And what does that mean?
So it's kind of back to the frenemies and enemies thing. Is that y'all give us all these things. It's not working. The government, whatever, the curriculum, all these technologies, whatever, trying to help the urban or the disenfranchised students, not just urban, but the disenfranchised students. And we got it from here. Thank you for your service. It's time. And there's like Five Dog, the one who wrote the title for the album. I guess he was saying, you guys did what you did. We're done with it. We got it from here now. We're going to take ownership of our learning, of our curriculum, and thank you for your service. You're out. Mm-hmm. And now I'm going to be following this hashtag hip hop ed and learn more about this. But one part in his talk, excuse me, that he recognizes these teachers also, like myself, and I see myself in this part, where there's these teachers who listen to hip hop, right? Especially me. I listen to the golden age of hip hop. I've listened to, from the 80s up to 70s, 80s, 90s. I'm up there, maybe 2010s, and that's it. I don't know the new rappers today. But I am a hip hop fan, and I listen to it going to work, right? I park my car, I turn down the music, or I have my headphones on. But when I reach the block of my school, I turn down the music, right? I turn it down, take off my headphones, put what I like away, take the curriculum, what I'm supposed to teach, and teach it. And then at the end of the day, I put my headphones back on or jump in my car and start blasting.
So you're saying like
songs.
you don't teach with your authentic self. Is that what you mean?
That's what he's trying to say.
You're
Yes,
saying.
and that really resonated with me. It's like wow, like wow. Though I do drop, I've been teaching 18 years, right? I've been in the education for 18 years, and I do recognize those times. Like, yeah, that's me. I'm like, why am I doing that? It's because a lot of, I guess, the miscommunication or the misinformation or I'm trying to find the word. But people don't understand hip hop, right? Especially people who don't know hip hop, don't know what about it. I think they hear the worst things about hip hop and how they think it's bad. There's a lot of misogynic and a lot of bad, violent, And yes, there are. Don't get me wrong, there are. But there are other songs out there, a lot of artists out there who are really trying to think. They're trying to think of creative ways or to describe things and actually trying to identify the problem in the songs and try to solve those problems in the songs. There are artists like that. And these kids do listen to those things. Studies are showing that kids love the beats. They did not necessarily know the lyrics, right? Sometimes the lyrics gets all mumbled, especially these mumble rap. But I guess a lot of the studies pointing, not a lot, I think that I've seen a couple that are showing that the kids love the beats, and it's helping them think or let them express themselves. And I think I like that too. I grew up at hip hop, especially the West Coast gangster rap. I grew up on that, but I'm a nice guy. I don't have tendencies to shoot people or anything like that. It's just my way of thinking. Besides, I think I balanced it out with Public Enemy. I had NWA one side, but I also have Public Enemy and X-Clan and Boogie Down Productions on one side,
I mean, you can make the argument like, video games and movies also cause violence
right.
too.
And I'm a video game player too.
Yeah, so you can't always assign that. But I think I know what you're trying to say is that you don't want to be like labeled as like, he listens to bad music or things like that, because you have a professional self to present. Right. To your community.
Yeah, I don't want to show that to the parents, especially to like I'm teaching your sons or daughters, and what are you listening to? Right.
So you have to, it's like you're protecting yourself. At the same time, there has to be maybe there's a little way you can integrate some of your hip hop music.
And that's what they're trying to say. This hip hop ed hashtag and Twitter that's going on, and I'm interested in learning more about this. Cool. Definitely want to do that. Right. I'm going to move on a little bit. Yeah. Quick. There's another talk speaker, Brene Brown. She's one of the top most viewed TED Talk videos out there. And Brene Brown, she is well known as she's like a big storyteller, and she's a researcher. And what her thing is, it's about the power of vulnerability. And in particular, this talk at South by SXSWEdu, she talks about how it's important for teachers to identify and even share their vulnerability. How it's important for teachers to share it so they can grow, but also share it with the other students so they can show them it's okay. It's okay to be vulnerable and move, but as long as you move forward, right? And that's very powerful as well. We'll link this up also in the show notes.
Oh, that's cool. Did she give examples of when she was vulnerable, or examples?
I don't remember right
teachers?
now, but definitely watch that video. It's very cool. I'm gonna. I know I'm skipping her a little bit, but I know we're running out of time. The time is short for us right now. There's another one real quick. I went to a lot. I stayed away from the makerspace stuff. I stayed away from all that because I've been immersed in that for the past few years, and also the coding and all that, robotics. Although there's a lot of great things out there, I see it, but I kind of avoided it. I went to the big idea one, like artificial intelligence in education. That's huge. I went to a small 20-minute talk, and it's really short, and I'll explain why. 20-minute talk by a professor. I forget his name, Stolnick. I forget his name. We'll figure it out. And he is a professor at Carnegie Mellon Carnegie Mellon is a very well-known school for robotics and AI. A few years ago, I think Uber and Google, they donated money to the school, Carnegie Mellon. However, they were poached. They poached them for their engineers.
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
So Uber took him, and Google took him. And you know what? Uber isn't in Austin. I found out they got kicked out a year ago. That's interesting.
Oh.
So when I landed on the airport trying to find an Uber doesn't exist there. So there's no Uber service here. Like, oh, then I realized they were kicked out in Austin a couple of years ago. I think South by Southwest. Something to do with taxes and all that stuff, you know.
So
business and politics. There's no lift too. They were banned. So it's a local one. So I didn't want to do with the local ones. I hear it's more expensive. But I just went to a cab. It's expensive, but $25. It's fine. Whatever. You know?
Well, you walked a lot.
Yeah. So the convention center, real quick. It's huge. If you haven't gone to the Austin Convention Center, and just like many convention centers, but it is huge, right? So walking around, lots and lots of cool things happening. And if you haven't gone to these huge ed tech or education conferences yet, be ready to walk. Okay. Now, you had robotics was represented, new coding initiatives. University of Texas was represented. Oracle was represented there. They had all tables. They had a couple groups from Japan, a couple groups from China. I think a couple European ones also there. A lot of tables. That happened the first day. The second day and second, third, fourth day on, they had all that. Plus, they had students. So the students came the next day, the next couple of days. And that school, they showed their projects, but they also were interested in going visiting on these other tables also and getting the free pens, free T-shirts, and so on. Yeah, the swag, right? So that was cool to get to see the kids having fun. You know, they need to see that. These are high school kids, and I like that. I appreciate that.
So is that like a CES computer engine? What is it? Computer electronics show in Vegas every year. Is it kind of like a CES for education? Like all the shiny stuff in there?
Well, CES is definitely more electronics. That's for electronics. This one's a little more for electronics, but also services like curriculum, like United States Census was there, the I think Library of Congress was there. The educational stuff. Colleges were represented, coding. So there's a lot of ed tech companies. Okay, and I'm going to get to that in a bit. But this happened in the main exhibit hall and in the convention center. But it really spread out to 3 other buildings. You had Hilton adjacent to the Austin Convention Center, and then you had another building. I forget, the JW Marriott. So there were sessions happening all 3 spots. Hilton is just like a block away. JW is about 4 blocks away. Yeah. So in the Texas heat, walking that in the humid heat, it wasn't that bad. But yeah, it was kind of like I didn't want to go there. Here's the thing: if you haven't gone, go to South by Southwest. I really encourage you to do that. Okay, I think it's really great. It was fun. You'll enjoy the food, the barbecue. It's great. But here I'm going to give a little what I didn't like about South by Southwest EDU. And this is what I struggled with. I really struggled with this. One, it was separate, and 2, when I say separate, they were separate buildings, so it was hard. It was not that hard to get, but it was like a hassle to get to. And one of the biggest ones is that there were 5. At one time, there was 5 sessions I wanted to go, right? But I could only go to 1 because the other 4 were happening in different rooms at the same time.
Yeah. Different
rooms, different buildings. So, and they're all like sometimes 20 minutes each to talk about. So, I mean, it ranges from 20 minutes to like an hour or even 2 hours. But there's this one time I marked these in the app. There's a South by Southwest EDU app. I wanted these 5. This is great. This one day, like, this is the ones I want to go to. Right?
Yeah.
And, just like, it was just, disheartening that, like, they're all happening at the same time. I'm like, and I had to walk over that way and then come back, go to another one if I wanted to go check it out. And then by the time I would come back, it's already already over.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Like I went to one, a PD puzzle. trying to improve professional development. But another thing was happening about another AI version or some kind of robotics, not robotics, some kind of STEAM or STEM thing happening also at the same time. And another one happened also. I want to check it out. But that was kind of irritating for me. And also another irritation, okay, is that the app is great. It's cool. But, it's McGraw-Hill. It's huge. Their ads are all over the place. Every time you turn on the app, that's
how they make their money.
Their ad comes up, and it makes sense. They are the biggest sponsor, okay? But they just took away some couple of precious seconds. But also, once you register, obviously your email becomes known to the other vendors. You can communicate. People can communicate with you.
Uh-huh.
So that's a good thing. It can be good if you want to network, definitely. But if you don't want to network, you're still going to get pinged, And I got pinged a couple times, and I met a couple of them, but the other pings, I don't want to deal with it. They just get in the way,
So you had no choice.
I guess you can turn it off, I guess. But I did want to see you got to turn it on when you get location services or location notifications, right? But I struggled with that a little bit. I just, but then it was kind of tempered also when every night there was a happy hour. The first happy hour at Monday night, huge, big. There was one by McGraw-Hill. They had one first, and then the South by Southwest organizers, they had theirs at the Buffalo Billiards, and that place is huge, a sports bar, and all these teachers were there, right? And I looked around. Yes, they're teachers, but my goodness, there are a lot of, I'm going to be sexist here a little bit, there are a lot of men. There's a lot of men here.
Why? Most teachers are women.
Most teachers, and you said it, most teachers are pretty much women. It seems from my experience, from your experience, right? Mostly women. My goodness, there's so many men, and I'm realizing there's a lot of ed tech people here.
Okay, that's why.
Ed tech people, pitching their ideas, pushing their ideas. It's cool. I mean, it's fine. I think I was kind of a little jaded about it, but I did have a conversation. I met this woman there, the happy hour, the big one, and I never met in a person like this. She comes from Washington, D.C., and she talks about her things about educational policy. Yeah, so it's not K-8 or K-12. It's not even K-16. It's all the way up to that level of policy, educational policy. So obviously we talked about Betsy. Hey, Betsy, if you're listening to this, what's up? We talked about her a little bit and the whole plan of education, public education in the United States, and it's very interesting. And it's going to be cut. A lot of it's going to be cut. We just found out the other day that education is going to be cut. The funding for it, a lot of it, billions of dollars. So, but that was interesting to talk to that lady about educational policy. I never spoke.
So
to
what does she exactly do about the policy?
A lot of it's equity and access for students in need. So a lot of that, but higher. I mean, they're talking to senators and congressmen. Yeah. So
not our thing, but need to hear about.
Exactly. So I was trying to catch up with her conversations, with her ideas. It's pretty interesting, though. Yeah. But I made a new Twitter friend, which is great. What else?
Well, I want to ask you, when you were gone, I think at the end I've asked you, excuse me, every conference has some kind of theme or a focus, like ISTE, right? ISTE is International, what is it? I forgot.
Society of Technology. Yeah.
So it's focused on ed tech or technology. But what is South by Southwest EDU about? What is the focus of it?
Okay, in general, I think that it's different. I think this year, I can't speak for the other years before, but they did have Bill Gates and the Bill Gates Foundation there a year or two ago, and I think Michelle Obama there a couple years ago as well. I may be wrong. It's in the website. I think I've seen her there. But what I've my colleague, and this is great, I went with my colleague, And it helps when you go with somebody you know from your school, right? So you can actually reflect and talk about things. And she got a lot out of it. Great. But she identified, so we have the 4 C's of the 21st century learning, right? Critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication. I think I said that.
Communication, creativity, collaboration, and critical thinking.
Okay, you have those 4, right? But she identified 4 different ones up in at the conference, and she connected that we need to have the notion of teachers and students as makers of content, culture, choice, and change.
Oh, wow.
And I think she got it right there. She got it. And I do agree with her. That was the theme. Obviously the hip hop part, that's the culture part, right? And the choices that we make for that.
Yeah.
One of the other speakers was Tim Ferriss, and talks about choices, or experimenting and stuff like that. So that's another speaker, right? And then the choices and asking for change, like about with Brene Brown and vulnerabilities. So I think I do agree with that notion of these 4 C's of the content, creating content, not just the students but the teachers also. They need to create.
Yeah.
Make a video channel, make a podcast, make a book, something, right? Express yourself. And culture and choice and change, especially now in the climate, the political climate right now. I think those are important right now. Education is getting cut. Arts are getting cut also. Science getting cut.
Yeah, what are we going to do about it?
So those are important to think about how we can support that now.
It's like it's like a social justice issue.
Social justice starts in the classroom. How do you change the culture in your classroom? Right? What are the choices? What kind of content you're going to create? So that's really interesting, and I think that is the theme this year. I don't remember there's an official theme there, but just by the speakers and looking back at it. So yeah, I think that was it. So yeah,
it's fitting.
So I struggled a little bit about that, and I left South by Southwest EDU full of barbecue. I was full of questions in my head. Was it worth it? Even when you picked me up in the airport last Thursday, I was still kind of like, it's fine. I was kind of hesitant. And I think it really clicked on me that I did appreciate it more when I was interviewed by my direct supervisor and my other colleagues. We're going to do this new thing. Whoever goes to a conference, they're going to come back and have video reflection. So they're asking questions, and I was just brain dumping my reaction. And I think that did help a lot. And I really do appreciate South by Southwest EDU and what they're doing. They're doing great things. Get those speakers, and get these speakers who will blow the regular teacher, the normal, the everyday teacher's mind. Get them out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
Oh, another issue was another thing. So getting comfortable with the uncomfortableness. That's another part I remember of one of the speakers. Maybe Tim Ferriss or someone said that, and I like that also. So getting comfortable with uncomfortableness, right?
Well, that's where change starts,
right? And that will help you build perseverance and persistence, grit.
The whole grit thing,
right? So that's
I see that cool theme in what you said earlier too about being. What was that statement? Excuse me. Patient with yourself, or what was that thing about? I'm sorry, I'm blanking.
Wait, which statement?
No, it reminded me of, you said something about grit. So it just coming back. So maybe that's one of the themes too.
Sharon is heavily medicated right now, guys. These allergies are this cold. It's kind of crazy. So
Doesn't sound really bad, but I'm mentally fine.
Yeah, I know, but your body's trying to catch up.
Yeah.
I'm sneezing like crazy.
Yeah, but I was thinking, when I asked you in airport picking you up, you're like, I'm not sure, and I think you're just absorbing everything. I think you're processing it.
It's a lot.
So you're not supposed to know yet,
right? Yeah. I mean,
so
I kind of like, that's it. After Professor Emden, I'm good.
Yeah.
And that was the first hour. I'm good. I got it.
I'm gonna go now.
Yeah, I'm good now. Go home. No, I get eat some barbecue first.
Yeah, and then remember you told me you're happy you were a participant because you tried to do a podcast presentation.
Yeah, I applied to have a playground demonstration at South by Southwest. Got a lot of votes though, but I didn't make the last cut.
Yeah,
I didn't make it.
So
went to the first, got to the second, didn't make it to the third. It's all good.
Yeah.
There was another podcast out there, student podcast out there also, and they're doing good things also. I avoided them.
Yeah. So
no, much love.
If when this happens again, would you go again?
Would I go again? Yes. However, contingent on one or two things, maybe two things. I had to go with a bunch of other teachers, colleagues, and us colleagues have to get together and reflect on it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Either reflect it there, which we did a lot of, and also reflect when you go back to school and share that with your colleagues, the wider school community. Oh, we also went to Voodoo Donuts a lot. I went to 3 out of 5 days with Julie.
Oh my goodness.
And Krista. They went like 5 days. I went like 4 days.
Yeah, they're opening one in LA too.
Yeah, if you guys don't know what Voodoo Donuts is, it's a hipster thing, donut place that opened up in they got popular up in Portland, hipster country up there, and they got they're I guess one of the first ones. I don't know if that's true or not, but bacon on top of their maple donut. Maple bar, yeah. Mm-hmm. With bacon fat and all that stuff, and they put cereal on their donuts, and they put like Fruit Loops. It's fine. It's good. It's good. It's but having barbecue and
already enough
voodoo
heavy.
But it's good though. The food is great. You can't go wrong. The happy hours are great because a lot of free food and adult beverages.
And yeah, we need that. Teachers need
yes,
that.
They do.
We don't get free very often.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, man. So yes, I think South by Southwest is great. Go for it. If you guys go next year, hit me up because I think I want to go with you. I want to go or send Sharon. I want to go send Sharon. Mm-hmm. Sorry, have or me, Sharon, and the boys. The boys will be somewhere in Salt Lick barbecue out there.
They're gonna wait in line for us at Franklin's.
Or Franklin's. Oh God, I really want to go to Franklin's. If you guys don't know, it's like I guess supposedly the best barbecue in the United States. Sorry, Carolinas, and sorry, Kansas City. But I hear it's really good. It's like 4 or 5 hour wait. It's crazy.
Dang, 5 hours.
Yeah.
It's like you're waiting for your iPhone.
Yeah, but his food is different. It's at the moment.
Yeah.
You enjoy it. Yeah, what else? South by Southwest. Great things. Check out the notes. We'll have the links there. Check it out. I also found out that they emailed us today that they recorded all the sessions that I missed and all the other sessions that I did not want to go. They recorded those sessions, those 20-minute sessions, 2-hour sessions,
good.
As a podcast. So you can listen on SoundCloud, nice. And I'm going to give you the link to that too. On the
so anyone can listen to that.
Exactly.
So
that's a cool way. It's a cool way to, you want to learn, check it out. Go to the schedule, South by Southwest, and find out, when dig deeper.
So yeah, really you're going to put the link for those episodes, those places you wanted to go. Those talks.
Yeah, okay. So go again, guys. Try to save it up for next year. Get that PD money. South by Southwest is really cool. ISTE is great. Q is great. All the other big ones are great. But I think South by Southwest is unique in that there are other things happening. You'll be surrounded by a lot of good music, a lot of good food, but also a lot of people from different parts of education, So, yeah. I even ran into a couple of people from the independent schools. The national NAIS was cool. So I got to see them. Yeah,
nice.
Yep.
So you made some new friends. That's good. The network.
Yeah. The part network is good. So.
Okay.
Good stuff.
All right. Well, I learned some new things today that you didn't tell me, so it's good to hear.
Because I was kind of like I didn't learn anything until yesterday. Still I got interviewed by Howard.
A week later.
Yeah,
it's okay. Later. It's like dormant, and then it comes out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, check it out. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you soon. and we're gonna have an announcement next couple episodes or so. All right.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for these
Thank
big
you.
announcements.
Bye.